What's going on, guys? Today I'll be showing you how to quickly use the HC-SR04 Ultrasonic sensor with the Raspberry Pi Pico. And the reason I'm showing this is because it's a really popular sensor to get distance readings for your robotic applications. So how this works is it pretty much sends a ultrasonic pulse and the receiver receives the pulse, and then you interpret the distance based on that. Now it works best between 2 centimeters and 400 centimeters distance, so 4 meters. And then the one I'm working with today uses a 5-volt DC power supply. But typically when you're using the ones with the Raspberry Pi Pico, you want the HC-SR04 version that uses a 3.3 volt version. You can find that version online, but for the sake of this video, we're just gonna use the 5-volt version. Just know that using the 5-volt version is not good practice, and I'm just doing it for the sake of demonstrating. What I'm showing in this video will work for the 3.3 volt version, but the 5-volt version can actually damage your Pico if you use it too long. And then just some other specifications. It has an effectual angle of less than 15 degrees, and then also it has a pretty decent resolution of 0.3 centimeters, so that's sort of like the margin of error. So that being said, let's jump straight into it, guys. Okay, so physical setup is pretty easy here. We just have 4 pins. For the VCC, that's just what's powering the sensor. We have the ground as well here in black, but the main things here are we have trigger and echo, which are going to these 2 respective pins. Now, what you want to know is that echo is what's sending the signal, trigger is what's receiving the signal. So that's pretty much all you have to do in terms of the physical setup for this sensor for the Raspberry Pi Pico. Okay, so jumping into the code, thankfully I found this example code online that made my life a lot easier. So I followed a lot of other examples with the 5-volt HC-SR04, and I couldn't get it to work because most of the other examples were using 3.3 volt logic, and that wasn't working for this sensor. And frankly, we shouldn't be even using the 5-volt version, but I found this code online that works with this version of the sensor pretty accurately. So this guy pretty much just uses this formula without any external libraries. Mind you, a lot of the other examples online are using external libraries. We just pretty much code this formula into the MicroPython in Thani. And what that's doing at a high level is just sending a pulse for 5 microseconds, and it's waiting for that pulse to be received from to the trigger. And once it's received, we're just going to plug all that information into this formula to get the distance in centimeters. That's all this is doing. So once we have the physical setup and we have our MicroPython environment ready, I just copy this code and I'm going to show you that it runs correctly. So let's just go ahead and run that. Okay, so if I put my hand in front of my sensor right now, we can see that we're getting good readings. Perfect. So that's pretty much it. I mean, that's all you need to start getting readings from your HC-SR04 ultrasonic sensor. I'll link the one I bought in the description below. If you like this video, if you found something useful, if you learned something, please like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned to the channel. Until next time, thanks for watching as always.